Now we are going to assess the hearing of the patient. For hearing of the patient, two common methods are number one, voice test, and number two, tuning fork test. In voice test, we instruct the patient first. जब आपको मैं एक नंबर बोलूँगा, जो आपको नंबर सुनाई दे, आपने रिपीट करना है कि मैंने क्या नंबर बोला. So we'll start the voice test. We are going to examine the hearing of the left ear. The distance between the patient and the examiner should be approximately 2 feet. We will put our finger and rub the finger on the tragus of the other ear so that there is sound which masks the other ear, so that he hears only from this ear. We will cover the face of the eyes of the patient so that it doesn't see the lips. 24,
24,
32,
32,
75,
75, 89, 64.
Right. So we started with a normal sound, that is normal intensity, like 64. Then we gradually reduced the intensity of our voice and we came to the whisper. If the patient is able to answer the whisper correctly, that means the hearing is excellent, that is between 20 to 30 decibel. If the patient is able to answer normal conversation but not whisper, that means the patient is able to hear between 30 to 60 decibel of hearing intensity. If the patient is unable to hear the normal conversation and is able to hear the shout, that means that the hearing level is between 60 and 90 decibel. So this is a crude method of checking the hearing level of the patient. Similarly, we will examine the right ear. Now we are going to do the tuning fork test. We can use a tuning fork which has got two prongs. Once we strike the tuning fork to the elbow or to the knee, the prongs, they vibrate and they produce sound. The frequency of this tuning fork is 256. We can use tuning fork of 512. 256 is called C1, 512 is called C2. So we will stand in front of the patient. First we will instruct the patient. ये जो चीज़ है ना, ये मैं आपके कान के इधर रखूँगा और फिर इधर रखूँगा. आपने मुझे बताना है कि ज़्यादा ज़ोर से आपको कहाँ से सुनाई देता है, आगे या पीछे. ठीक है. This is called Rinne's test. In Rinne's test we are examining the air conduction of the patient and comparing with the bone conduction of the patient. Bone is that we are placing the tuning fork on the mastoid bone. So we will strike the tuning fork. आवाज़ आती है?
जी सर.
So then we will put the base of the tuning fork on the mastoid bone. आवाज़ आ रही है?
नहीं सर.
ये आती है ज़ोर से, यहाँ पे ज़ोर से आ रही है.
नहीं बंद है.
भाई मैंने किया ना. So we will strike the tuning fork, place it in front of the external auditory meatus. We will ask the patient whether he can hear. आवाज़ आती है आपको?
आ रही है.
Then we will put it on the mastoid bone. अब आती है?
कम आ रही है.
Then we will bring it back in the external auditory meatus. अब आती है?
आ रही है.
So आपको पीछे ज़्यादा ज़ोर से आती है कि आगे ज़्यादा ज़ोर से आती है?
आगे से ज़्यादा.
शाबाश. So this patient can hear the tuning fork better when it is placed near the external auditory meatus. That is, air conduction is better than the bone conduction. If the air conduction is better than bone conduction, the patient has got either normal hearing of the ear or he has got some sensory hearing loss. Now we examine the right ear. We will strike the tuning fork. आवाज़ आती है?
आ रही.
We'll put it on the mastoid. अब आती है?
जोर से आ रही.
We'll come back. अब आती है?
आ रही.
कम.
कम आती.
So आपको पीछे ज़्यादा ज़ोर से आती है कि आगे ज़्यादा ज़ोर से आती है?
पीछे से.
पीछे ज़्यादा ज़ोर से. So in the right ear, he can hear better when the tuning fork is on the mastoid bone, as compared to when the tuning fork is at the external auditory meatus. So bone conduction is better than air conduction in the right ear. Air conduction was better than bone conduction in the left ear. So this is normal hearing ear, and in this side there is a conductive hearing loss because bone conduction is better than air conduction. So when the air conduction is better than bone conduction, this is called Reines positive. When the bone conduction is better than air conduction, this is called Reines negative. Reines negative means that there is conductive hearing loss in that ear. Now we'll further examine and concentrate what's happening. So this second test we'll do is called Weber's test. We'll put the vibrating tuning fork either on the head of the patient or on the forehead of the patient or on the teeth, but the best place is the forehead of the patient. Then we'll ask the patient whether he can hear the sound of the tuning fork or vibration of the tuning fork in which ear. In this case, the patient said that he could hear the sound in the right ear. So this is called lateralization of the sound to the right ear. So Weber is lateralized to the right ear. So this is confirmed. Reines is negative. Weber is coming to the right ear. So this right ear has got a conductive hearing loss. There is some another case which we can discuss. For example, the bone conduction is better than air conduction in the right ear. Bone conduction is better than air conduction in the right ear. Air conduction is better than bone conduction in the left ear. And once we did the Weber's test, the patient said that the vibration and the sound is going to the better ear. It should be going to the conductive hearing loss, but in this case he says it is going to the better ear. So Reines positive, Reines negative, Weber going to the positive side. In this case, what is happening is that once we have put the tuning fork on the bone on this side, the whole of the bone of the skull is vibrating and the patient is hearing the tuning fork not in this ear, he is hearing the tuning fork through the bone vibration in the left ear. So the patient's bone conduction is heard through the skull in the left ear. This is called false negative. Actually this is Reines negative, but the Weber is going to this side. So the patient is not hearing in this ear, patient is hearing through the bone in the better ear, that is the left ear. So this interpretation will be Reines negative, false. So we will repeat this thing, false, Reines negative. There was a conductive hearing loss, that is Reines negative in the right ear. The left ear was normal, that is Reines positive. When we did the Weber test, normally it should come towards the conductive hearing loss, but in this case the Weber test went to the better hearing. So why this has happened? This has happened because once we placed the tuning fork on the air conduction side, patient was unable to hear. Through the bone conduction, the patient said, I am hearing the tuning fork. He is not hearing the tuning fork in this ear. Through the bone, the sound is transmitted to the better ear. So actually, once we place the tuning fork on the bone on this side, the hearing is in the better ear. This ear is not hearing. So this is called false Reines negative. The other thing is that, for example, another case is that we will put the tuning fork on this side, then on the bone. He says that air conduction is better, so Reines positive. Similarly, on this side, air conduction is better, Reines positive. So both ears have got Reines positive. We strike the tuning fork and do the Weber's test. He says the Weber's is going towards the left ear. Both the ears have got Reines positive, but the Weber is going towards the left ear. Now Reines positive will stay positive if the hearing of air conduction and bone conduction is less than 20 decibel. The air bone gap is less than 20 decibel, the Reines will stay positive. The Weber is a more sensitive test. It lateralizes to the conductive hearing loss ear even if the ear bone gap is 5 decibel or more. So Weber is more sensitive test, Raynaud's is less sensitive test. The airborne gap, if it is more than 20 decibel, only then the Raynaud's will become negative. If it is less than 20 decibel, the Raynaud's will stay positive, but the Weber, which is more sensitive test, will lateralize to the conductive hearing loss. So Raynaud's positive, Weber going to left ear. That means that this ear has got a conductive hearing loss which is less than 20 decibel, between 5 to 20 decibel.